Storm Arran is arriving today. It's set to batter the UK into the weekend, bringing widespread strong winds, heavy rain and even some snowfall. All the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain. You know what, we need to batten down the hatches, Sean, because a storm is approaching, Storm Arran. The Met Office named storms when they are set to cause widespread disruption, and that is going to happen this weekend. We've already seen the wet weather. We saw Pip there in Manchester, the rains arrived there. The cold air is where Juliet is in Fife, and we've got this area of low pressure that's got these tight isobars, the pressure lines, showing how windy it's going to be, and it's the winds that will be the main impact for the disruption as we head through the weekend. Warnings on Friday and Saturday, widely gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour, occasionally 70 to 80 miles an hour. So that is a very strong, but it's also the wind direction coming from the due north. The other problem we have is the trees in much more full leaf than normal because we haven't had the stormy weather. So we're likely to see branches and trees down as we head through the next few days, and that also could cause some widespread disruption. But today, the storm is now approaching. We have wet and windy weather sweeping its way through England and Wales. Clearer, colder weather is now arriving from the north in the form of scattered showers for northwestern areas of Scotland. As we head through the day today, those winds will just continue to strengthen, and with the cold air digging in, then we start to see some snowfall arriving through northern areas in the form of showers, most of that over higher ground, then later on falling to lower levels. And today's temperatures struggle into single digits at best, but when you add in the strength of the wind, it will feel much colder than that. And as we head through this evening and overnight tonight, we see another deeper area of low pressure, the same storm, Storm Arran, feeding in through northern areas, and that brings with it rain, sleet and then snowfall. We're talking 2 to 5 centimetres of snow across Scotland. We could, through parts of the Chilterns all the way down to some eastern areas of England, wake up to a light dusting of snow by tomorrow morning. But the big thing will be the strength of the winds. They're peaking overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, so that is when we could see this disruption. So a wet and windy start to the day tomorrow, some sleet around as well. Those strong winds on those northern and eastern coasts continuing 70 to 80 miles an hour. The winds will moderate a little as we head through to Saturday, and the storm clears away by Sunday. And then as we head into next week, things look set to turn milder and more settled. But in the meantime, for the next 24 to 48 hours, it's Storm Arran we're looking out for, Sean.
Laura, thank you very much.
Good morning to you from Television Centre. The weather this weekend will be dominated by a named storm. Storm Arran, named by the Met Office because it's set to cause widespread disruption as we head through Friday and Saturday, largely because of the strength of the winds. A deep area of low pressure coming down from the north, bringing with it an Arctic blast and unseasonably strong winds, particularly from this direction. We have warnings in force through Friday and on into Saturday, widely 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts of wind, some in the northern and eastern areas, 70 to 80 mile an hour gusts of wind. And with the trees still in much more full leaf than they would be normally at this time of year, there's chances of branches and trees coming down, disruption to road and rail networks, and also some structures down as well with huge waves down the coast. So lots of disruption at risk as we head through the next few days. So take care, check before you travel. For today, though, the first signs of Arran approaching, winds already gusting 50 to 60 miles an hour through northern areas. A whole band of rain thinks its way southwards. A cold start in the south initially before this cloudy, wet and windy weather looks set to move through. Then as we head through the day today, a more significant area of low pressure moves into the northwest. That brings with it rain, sleet and snowfall, the beginning of this change to things turning wintry. And today the thermometer may well say 8 to 9 degrees, but adding in the strength of the wind, it will feel even colder than that. This evening and overnight, the winds strengthen further. That is when we get our peak gusts of wind tonight into tomorrow morning. That is when the disruption is likely to occur, with potentially trees coming down overnight. And then the low pressure that brings with it the rain also brings snow. So for northern and eastern areas, you could well wake up to a covering first thing tomorrow morning. So Saturday looks increasingly wet and windy, and it's this theme that continues as we head through the whole of the weekend. Heavy rain, snow and gales on Saturday, and that continues to ease as we head into Sunday. For once, I actually left early because I had a cinema date yesterday, and I'm just outside Television Centre and it started raining, so we've come on to come, but it is set to be a very stormy one, so perhaps a weekend to stay indoors. Here's the details. It is Storm Arran. You'll be hearing that name as we head through the weekend. The Met Office name storms when they are set to cause widespread disruption, and this one will, particularly because of the strength of the winds. A deep area of low pressure with isobars, pressure lines close together. That shows how windy it's set to be. Also bringing with it heavy rain and snow as we head through Friday on into Saturday. The winds due north, and it will make it feel bitingly cold. So this is how things are looking for today. For today, it is cloudy, wet and windy initially, and then we see blustery showers following on behind. Rain heavy through England and Wales, and the showers that arrive for Scotland and Northern Ireland cold enough for rain, sleet and for snow. The winds today, the warning is for gusts of 60 to 70, maybe 80 miles an hour through northern and eastern areas where there's an amber weather warning in force. And through this evening and overnight tonight, we see that low pressure dragging down rain that hits the cold air that then turns to snow. We're talking 2 to 5 centimetres of snow across Scotland. We could even see a covering of snow through some southern areas by tomorrow morning. Icy to start, very windy too, and that could cause disruption. Welcome back to Good Morning Britain. I'm outside the brand new tree here at Television Centre. The weather is not going to be feeling very festive as we head through this weekend. We have a storm approaching. Storm Arran. They're named by the Met Office when they're set to cause widespread disruption. The focus of this will be the strength of the winds. The wet and windy weather slips its way southwards and some snow. That will cause some disruption, but it will be the winds, isobars close together, and we're going to see gusts of 50 to 60, maybe 70 to 80 miles an hour through northern and eastern coasts of Scotland. That is one to watch. For today, though, it's for England and Wales, wet and windy to start. That rain will quickly move through this morning. Scotland and Northern Ireland then turns much colder with blustery showers moving in, cold enough for some of them to be of snow. And temperatures today may be up to 10, but the winds will make it feel much colder than that. Through this evening and overnight, the winds really start to strengthen. And we see rain hitting cold air, turning to snow, 2 to 5 centimetres for Scotland. We could wake up to a dusting through southern areas by tomorrow morning. An icy start with those strong winds likely to cause disruption to road, rail and bring down some trees. So the Met Office name a storm, but it is set to cause disruption. It's a low pressure coming in, bringing unseasonably strong winds. That will be the main impacts. We're talking widely 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts of wind, potentially 70 to 80 for northern and eastern areas. On top of that, strong winds, heavy rain and snow as well. But for today, it's rain that's dominating. It's just started here through London. It's heading through England and Wales. Behind it, brighter skies for Scotland and Northern Ireland, along with blustery showers. The wind's already touching 50 miles an hour through northern coast, and it is set to get stronger. Temperatures today between 6 and 10, adding in the winds, feeling more like 2 or 3 for some of us. This evening and overnight tonight, we see a band of rain moving in through northern England, then Scotland heading its way through England and Wales. That bumps into cold air and could bring a covering of snow for some of us by tomorrow morning. Icy with those strong winds that's likely to bring down trees and cause travel disruption. A big change as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. A deep area of low pressure is set to bring very stormy conditions across the UK. It is Storm Arran that is set to arrive, named by the Met Office because it will cause disruption. Low pressure brings isobars, wind lines that are close together. We are set to see winds of 60 to 70, warnings in the northeast of up to 80 miles an hour, and that is likely to cause disruption. Trees in full leaf at the moment, and the trees in full leaf means the branches and the actual trees themselves could come down, likely to have bridges closed, train lines closed and cancelled, so big disruption to travel as we head through the weekend. This is how things look for today. A band of heavy rain is moving its way through England and Wales. Brighter skies follow, and then blustery showers into Scotland and Northern Ireland, and it's cold enough for those to turn to sleet and snow, mostly over higher ground. The winds strengthen as we head through the day, so the 10 on the thermometer at best will feel more like 4 or 5 degrees colder in the north. And then this evening and overnight, watch as rain bumps into cold air, turns to snow for Scotland and Northern England. Could well even wake up to a light dusting first thing through southern areas tomorrow. Bitingly cold and icy, and those strong winds look set to continue.